Welcome to the standard 3 students. Welcome to all of you about the chapter 20, the early human being. The early human being. Page 138. Page 138. The early human being, first they started their life without shelter. The shelter was the cave and under the tree. Then dress was the leaves of the plant, bark of the tree, and the animal skin. And the tools are the spear that is made of stone. And the food is the raw flesh and the fruits. Then the discovery of the fire, wheel, and farming, all three things developed a early human being to live in the permanent life, to live in a permanent place. So shelter, dress, tools, food, all are and the discovery of the fire made the early human being develop. So the early human being lived in thick jungle along with dangerous wild animals. The early man used the leaves of the plant and skin of the animals to cover their bodies. And the early man used raw foods and animals' flesh to eat. The early man learned to produce fire and by rubbing two stones together, and the early man moved from one place to another in search of food. The fire kept away the wild animals and cold, and also the early human noticed that fire made flesh of the animals tastier and easier to eat and digest. The early human being lived in the caves and on the branches of the tree. The earlier they did not have permanent shelter. Later, the early human beings started to live in the huts and caves. The early human beings used the leaves of the plants and skins of the animals to cover their bodies. The early man used the raw fruits and the animal flesh to eat. The fire kept away the wild animals and cold. Also, the early human beings worshipped fire as God. But very soon, they had realized their fire kept away the wild animals and saved them in the cold weather. Okay. Then the early human beings live in the caves and the branches of the tree. Earlier they did not have permanent shelter. Later human beings started to live in the huts and caves. And the life of the early man without fire, wheel and farming, would have been very harsh and tough. Without fire, they could not cook their food and had no light to avoid the darkness. In the absence of wheel, nothing could be transferred. They did not know farming. Therefore, they had to eat the raw flesh of animals. They had to depend on fruits which are found in the forest. Okay. So the discovery of wheel, fire and farming have changed the life of the early human being. With the progress of the time, human being continued to discover new things and made new progress, the great progress. These great discoveries have changed the early man's life, and they lived in a group in the village to help and cooperation to each other. So the discovery has changed the early man's life, and they lived in the group. Okay. Thank you all of you. Have a nice day, and remember the lesson and the question answer which has given as PDF. Okay, and write it down in the copy and send it to the school. Thank you all of you. Bye.